Hi, so today I'm going to be making a post-it note cover. Now I am going to be showing some other things that I made, so please watch until the end of the video and you'll be able to see those things. Now the dimensions that I wrote down on the post-it note are a little bit wrong. The first thing is that I cut my paper right here to 3 by 10. Now you're going to be wanting to cut it at 3 by 8. So that's one different change. But the other stuff is pretty close. So you're first going to want to score it at 1 inch. Then you can score it at 1 3/8. Now this is you want to use some kind of thick cardstock because of the reason that this is going to be the post-it note cover. And you don't want it to be so flimsy that it's going to really get damaged really easily. Now the next score mark is 4.5, and then the next one is 4 7/8. But again, my paper is a little bit too long. I cut it at 3 by 10, and you're going to want to cut it by 3 by 8. So now, again, I'm going to score it at 4 7/8. Now, for one thing is that you are going to want to use some kind of heavier duty cardstock. So this one's actually a little bit textured, and it's a little bit, I'm going to be doing stamping, but I don't expect it to be perfect because it's textured. Now you're just going to want to crease all your marks, make sure that everything is creasable and everything is real nice. Now I'm taking one of the post-it notes and I'm just going to stick it down so that my stamping will not go past that mark. So here I have the Simon Says Stamp petal pieces. I really like this stamp set. I'm just going to be doing some layering with these stamps. Now as you can see here, I'm taking out that biggest flower from the petal pieces. I'm just gonna line it up on my stamp press, Fiskars stamp press. And then I have a mouse pad on the bottom. And then I have my white piece of cardstock and then my piece. And I'm stamping it in Memento Lulu Lavender. And then this is the next size down. I'm gonna be stamping it in Memento Lux in Lilac Posies. Now, you can be using Memento Lux for maybe a little bit better image, but on the textured cardstock, none of the inks really work very well. So just don't expect it to be perfect. Now this is the Memento. I have the dewdrop in the sweet plum, and then I stamped the inside with dandelion, and then the right in the middle is tangelo. Now I'm taking the Memento Lux, and this is using the pear tart, and then I'm going to be stamping that on both sides of the flower. And then I'm going to take the Memento Bamboo leaves, and then I'm going to stamp the stem or the veins part on both for the leaves as well. Now again, you see there, I took off my post-it when you're going to want to leave it. So again, this is the bamboo leaves. I'm just going to be stamping those on both. Now I'm taking out Harold's ABCs from Lawn Fawn. It's just an alphabet stamp set, but I'm just gonna make it and spell notes. So on your Fiskars stamp press or any other, you can use a clear block or anything. It's really good to use one that has a grid like this because of the reason that you can line it up so nicely. And the good thing about Lawn Fawn's alphabet is they are on rectangular bases, so they all just match up so you're able to stamp it right. Now I'm taking VersaFine Onyx Black, and I'm just going to stamp the word notes onto my piece. And because VersaFine is a oil based, like a pigment ink, it will stamp pretty well, so that's why I use that. So now I'm just going to take out my post-it note. So this is the new one, and I'm just gonna line it up. I'm gonna have it like this, that it's opening from the side, so it's kind of neat. It's a little bit different from what I usually do. And then I'm just gonna take some Sukowang tape. This is like a score tape. I'm just gonna use it and then adhere it to my piece. Now you can use some kind of really strong adhesive, such as a red line tape, or even just using ATG would be good. But this I just thought is pretty strong, and I thought that this would be good, so it turned out pretty well. I'm just sticking it down really well, making sure it's all lined up. And then I'm going to take some magnetic tape. It's the magnetic roll, and then you can buy that at your local craft store or anywhere pretty much. And then you can just peel off the backing, and I'm just gonna peel it off and then adhere that piece adhere one of the sides of the magnetic tape onto exactly where I want it. So I'm gonna put it exactly where I want it, and with the magnetic tape, one side is already sticky. You just gotta peel off the backing, and that's really good. Make sure your other side of the magnet is the right direction, and then peel off that backing, and then you can adhere that directly onto the other side. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just lining it up and pushing it down, and then that's where the magnets will automatically line up. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and as you can see here, here's pretty much my finish. It's just gonna be just like that. I'm just gonna take out a little bit of stickles, or actually I'm using a little bit cheaper glitter glue. This is from Studio G, and I'm just gonna use that and add a little bit of glitter. Now this glitter glue, because it's a little bit cheaper glitter glue, I noticed that this one from Studio G, this iridescent one, it doesn't stick as well, meaning after it dries it doesn't really get sealed in. As you can see here, it's wet, but that's my finished product. So as you can see here, beforehand I made this I just used the My Mind's Eye decorative washi tapes, and then I used some stars and just did the enjoy. I just used a little glue dot there, and then as you can see here, you can make this for party favors. I just put some glue dots behind that, and that's like a nice gift. So that's something that I made, as well as I made this shaker card the other day. Now if any of you wanted me to have a video on how I make my shaker cards, you can leave some comments below, and I would be happy to make a video on this. So as you can see here, I made a sequin shaker. I do make usually other shaker cards, such as using Flower Soft and different types of micro beads. But if you want to see a video on this, just please leave some comments below. And here's my finished products, and I'll see you later. So please visit my blog at michaelscrafts.blogspot.com, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Bye!